Boys, Ceiling MMA here, and today I'm going to be predicting Dolidze versus Hernandez. My boy Anthony Hernandez is back. That's my favorite middleweight right now. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, this is a good fight, and I'll get onto this. But first, we have to start with. Do I want to predict these fights? You know, what fights are we? I mean, I think Euros Medic's probably gonna win this. He's pretty good. Elijah Smith, he's a decent prospect. I think he'll take this. I don't think Kazama's very good. Julius Walker's pretty good. I think he'll beat Sakara, who's terrible. Okay, moving on to the main cut, because I feel like this is just a mid-fight night. No one really cares about these prelims that much. Moving on. Christian Leroy Duncan and Eric Anders. Eric Anders beat Chris Weidman. Christian Leroy Duncan, he's lost to Robocop. I don't know if he's lost to anyone else. He's good, I rate him. I think he's a pretty skilled striker. His last fight wasn't great. I forgot who it was against, but he kind of just held him against the cage. It was against this Russian guy. Did he get a finish? A lot of it was like holding against the cage though. I remember I was watching it with my parents. It's like every time you watch MMA with your parents, it turns into like the most boring fight ever, you know? But no, I think Christian Leroy Duncan will get this one done. I'm going to say maybe a round 3 TKO. Moving on. Miles Johnson, Gene Matsumoto. Gene Matsumoto's only loss is like a fight on one. I think he took on like 1 week's notice, 1 or 2 weeks' notice against Rob Font by split decision that really could have gone either way. He held his own on the feet. I did think Rob Font won, but it was really close. He held his own on the feet. He out-grappled Rob Font. I think he's going to be able to do that here to Miles Johnson, who's kind of just basic. Miles Johnson, he's flat-footed. He has power, but he's not like skilled with his hands. His grappling isn't amazing. Felipe Lima beat this guy clearly, and Felipe Lima's okay, but like, yeah, I think Gene Matsumoto is gonna win this by a decision. Moving on, Philly versus Christian Rodriguez. This is weird, man, because Christian Rodriguez should be better than Andre Philly, but every time this guy fights someone who isn't a prospect, who he should beat, he loses. I mean, the Costa fight, it's like both these guys lost to Melquizael Costa. I don't fault you if you're losing to Costa because he's actually really good, and he just beat Julian Erosa. But it's tough, man. I don't know, because I'm a fan of Andre Philly, but I don't rate him that much. Although he did have a close fight with my goat Nathaniel Wood, so maybe. But that was a while ago, and Wood's really improved since then. I think we saw that in the Charrier fight. But I'm gonna go with. This is actually the hardest fight on the card. I'm going to go with Christian Rodriguez by decision. I think it'll be close. But even though this does feel like a fight he could lose, even though he should win, I'm gonna trust Christian Rodriguez here. Moving on. Yasmin Lucindo and Angela Hill. Yasmin Lucindo's coming off a loss. I don't even know what Angela Hill's last fight was. Get this out of my screen, bro. Angela Hill's last fight. She beat Ketlin Souza by split decision. Thing is, I don't really know enough about women's MMA. I mean, I do. Like, I'll see their fights, but like, I don't know. Pinheiro sucks. I mean, she hasn't really beat anyone that good. She lost to Richie, who's okay. I think Richie might beat Lucinda if they fought. Richie would probably beat her. Why is it? But I'm gonna say. Oh shit, bro. Who do I? You know, I'm gonna trust Jasmine Lucinda. She's decently powerful. She's got that lesbian strength, and she's a pretty good grappler. So I'm gonna go Yasmin Lucindo decision. Moving on. I could see a fluke KO for Ode. You know, he actually has power, submission ability. He's a pretty good finisher, but Steve Erceg's better than him, man. He is. Think about the guys Steve Erceg's lost to. Pantoja by a really close decision. Moreno by a pretty close decision. You know, it was clear, but it was close. And Kai by KO. Alright, but Kai's like a nightmare stylistic matchup for Steve Erceg anyway. So I'm gonna say Steve Erceg finishes Ode late. He's not really a finisher. It's match now, you know, that's all. The only guy who's finished, but he's just better everywhere than Ode. Like, once again, I could see like a fluke KO for Ode, and then we're talking about like I mean, people are going to be discrediting Pantoja if this guy. Please don't lose to Ode. They're going to be discrediting Pantoja and Moreno if Ode fluke KO Steve Urso. But they did it with John Jones for Reyes, so yeah. Moving on to the, I'm going to go with Steve Urso to win this, so he should do it pretty easily. Moving on to the main event, Dolidze versus Hernandez. I'm gonna go with Anthony Hernandez, but this is a close one because Dolidze, if Hernandez wants to take you down. If you take Dolidze down, like, he's dangerous off his back. Dolidze's more powerful here. He's probably the better striker, although it is close. But here's the thing, man. I don't think Anthony Hernandez had to take this fight, you know. Which makes me think there's a reason he took it. It makes me think he knows he can win this. And I know that's a dumb reason to pick someone. That's not why I'm picking him. I just think, like, yeah, Dolidze can submit people, like, when they take him down, but, like, let's look who he submitted. I'm trying to find. I mean, he TKO'd Jack Hermanson. Okay. I guess people say his jiu-jitsu is dangerous when he gets to the ground. I think what they mean is, like, he can almost submit you when he gets you to the ground, or he can TKO you, you know, right here but it's like, I don't think you're gonna be able to like he might hit some reversals, but I don't think he's gonna be able to, like, keep up the, like, consistent pace with Anthony Hernandez. When Anthony Hernandez is just taking him down and keeping top control, he has very, very good top control, and just, grinding away at him, hitting him with some ground and pound shots and all that stuff, I understand picking Dolidze, man, but I'm gonna say Anthony Hernandez gets in his face. He has a very good chin. I haven't really seen Dolidze mix up to the body that well in the striking, so I'm gonna say Roman Dolidze is gonna take this one. Anthony Hernandez is taking this one by, like, decision. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think this is one of the toughest fights he could have took, but I think maybe he took it for a reason. So that's the fight card, lads. Yeah. Like this video, or you have to get your ears pierced like Anthony Hernandez. In a bit, lads.